You hear the phrase the Queen's Bank, and what comes to mind? A secret financial fortress hidden somewhere in London, controlled directly by the British monarchy. A place with golden vaults where Queen Elizabeth II kept her personal fortune, with access reserved only for the crown. It sounds spectacular, like something out of a movie. The only problem? It's completely false. The reality is much simpler and, in a way, much more interesting. The Queen's Bank was never the Queen's Bank. Not for a day, not for an hour, not even for a second. That term is just a popular nickname born from our collective fascination with exclusivity and mystery. A label slapped onto a very real, very private institution, Coutts Co. A bank for the elite for sure, but by no means a royal bank. Let's get this straight from the start. Coutts is a place where the Queen was a client. A very important, high-profile client, of course, but still just a client. And this brings us to the first truth that many people prefer to ignore. The British royal family has never owned a bank. Not in the past, not today. There's no such thing as a royal banking institution run by the monarchy. There's only a powerful myth fed by centuries of tradition, status, and a healthy dose of public imagination. So how did Coutts get this legendary nickname? Simple. The bank has been working with British monarchs for generations, all the way back to the early 19th century. From King George IV to Queen Elizabeth II and now King Charles III, they've all had accounts there. But why? Not because it was their bank, but because Coutts has always been the bank for the truly wealthy and influential. It's where the 1% of the 1% keeps their money, and that's the key. If you want to become a Coutts client today, you can't just walk in with a good story. You need to have at least £1 million in investable assets. Only then does the door even begin to open. It doesn't matter if your name is John Smith or King Charles. The rules of entry are based on wealth, not titles. Here's the sharp truth of it all. The Queen didn't need her own bank. What she needed was a bank serious and sophisticated enough to manage her immense wealth, just like any other billionaire on the planet. And Coutts fit that bill perfectly. That's it. There's no conspiracy, no secret royal institution, no hidden crown bank. Now, some people get confused and mix Coutts up with the Bank of England. The explanation here is even simpler. The Bank of England doesn't offer personal banking services to anyone. Not to the king, not to the prime minister, and certainly not to the average citizen. It's the country's central bank. Its job is to manage monetary policy and maintain financial stability for the entire United Kingdom, not to handle the personal accounts of monarchs. The fact that the Queen's portrait is on the banknotes is a symbol of the state, not a bank statement. It signifies her role as head of state, not as a customer. Interestingly, this kind of myth isn't unique to Britain. In Romania, for example, a similar story circulates about a supposed Queen Marie's Bank, some privileged, hidden institution from the past. That's also completely false. The Romanian royal family, just like their influential peers at the time, kept their money in regular financial institutions, commercial banks, and the National Bank of Romania. No bank ever officially carried the name the Queen's Bank, and no Romanian equivalent ever existed, period. So, when you break it all down, the entire mystery dissolves into a few simple, firm truths. First, the Queen's Bank is just a nickname for Coutts Co., an elite private bank that is not, and has never been, owned by the Crown. In fact, Coutts is owned by the NatWest Group, a major commercial banking company. Second, the British royal family are simply very prestigious clients of this bank, not its owners. Third, the Bank of England belongs to the state, not the royals. And finally, the monarch's income comes from well-documented sources like the Sovereign Grant, the Duchy of Lancaster, properties, and private investments, not from some secret bank. In the end, we are left with one undeniable fact. The myth of the Queen's Bank is exactly that, a myth. a catchy name given to a private bank simply because its most famous clients happened to be monarchs. It was never anything more than that. And sometimes the simple truth is the most powerful story of all. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed uncovering this piece of history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.